right, guys. Top of the morning, June 23rd, coming to you feeling fresh, freshly shaved, feeling alive, feeling ready and prepared for this moment. A big week. Silas turns 7 this week. And when you think about the measurement of time, if you have children, the measurement of time is so much different when you have kids. I felt like there was years when I had kids, before I had kids, the years went by slower, but as they get older, it just goes by so quick. So for all the parents out there, embrace the moments, embrace the baby time, embrace the times that they think that you are the best, because, then they'll get moody and get teenager attitude and all that stuff. And so embrace the time that we have with our little ones. But we're going to kick this thing off on this beautiful Monday. I'm going to have somebody bring us out on the field, and it's going to be Ashley. Ashley, thought about you. I don't envy you, but I thought about you. And then somebody sent me a video of 2 people getting in a fight in Disneyland. I'm like, in all places of the world, why would you get in a fight in front of all the kids? But anyways, I didn't think about you because of the fighting. I just thought about you. So I'm going to have Ashley bring us out on the field on this amazing, amazing Monday morning. So Ashley, hit us with your sentiment for the morning.
Good morning. A lot of time was spent with my kids this week, and they're always in school. We're always running different directions, so we don't get that very often. So we did a lot of life lessons this week. And one of the biggest one, the one I'm most proud of, is the lesson about fear. All 3 of them were in tears, terrified about going on their own certain level of rides. And all 3 of them themselves, without being forced, they might have been bribed a little bit, chose to overcome the fear and do it anyways. My 13-year-old did not want to go on Space Mountain. He was like shaking, his stomach hurt, his eyes, he was sweating. I took a video. I said, Papa wants to know how you're doing. He's like, not good, bro, not good. I was like, all right, but if you don't do this, I'm kind of worried about your future. I'm just going to be honest with you. From like a human to human, I'm worried about your future, because if you let fear stop you now, there's a lot of times in life you're going to let fear stop you. And he's like, all right. I told him he could be ungrounded for the summer. That was the real pull. But he did it. He knuckled up and he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. I took another video at the end. He's like, that's the best ride I've ever been on. That was better than whatever other favorite he used to have. And I said, I want you to remember this moment. Fear has no control over you. Fear has no control over you. You learn this now, you're going to go really far in life. You don't, you won't. So they all did. I'm super proud of them. And I think it's a lesson we can all learn from.
I love it. I love it. My 6-year-old did not like that ride. And then, because they got there earlier before I did. And so he wasn't able to ride it with me. And he was definitely scared. But he told me, he's like, Dad, I'm ready to ride it with you, though. I'm ready to ride it with you. So I appreciate that message. Appreciate the sentiment. But I think inquiring minds want to know, why was he grounded for the summer?
Because to get ungrounded, you have to have A's, B's, and C's in this house, and he came on with 1 D. And so
we don't settle for anything less than perfection in this house. Love it. I love it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get rolling. If you have the ability to throw your cameras on, be in this moment, be present, would love to see your faces. Now, as we get started, we obviously there's some things that are happening in the world, and obviously I want to share this thought with you and the sentiment, because I know that consumers are probably going to bring it up. They're going to be fearful. What's going to happen? What's going to happen to oil prices, gas prices? All these things are going to start to surface in the next couple months, and who knows what's going to happen? I don't know if we're going to go to a full-out, blown-out war. I just don't know. But once again, we're at one of these crossroads in our industry that now it's something else for the consumers to hang on to. They're going to hang on to this, you guys. I promise you. They're going to have all these fears associated with it. And so once again, who controls the narrative, Laura? Just give me a thumbs up or point to yourself. So once again, we have to control the narrative. Listen, if you don't think that the conversation is going to come up, you're wrong. It's going to come up. People are going to be fearful, and they're going to ask you, what do you think about the housing market? What's going to how's it going to impact the housing market? And so right now, you guys, it's really, really early to tell, but this is a very, very tumultuous time for our country, what we're going through, what we're going to be experiencing. And so I want you guys to just know that we got to be ready. We got to buckle up. We got to be able to control the narrative, because your consumers are going to ask, they're going to have some fear associated with this. Over the last weekend or over the last couple of days, has any consumer hit you guys up? Have you had any type of dialogue since we bombed Iran? Has anybody had any questions come up, any concerns from your consumers as of yet? Give it a second. Okay. All right. Listen, I just want you guys to be prepared, have your narrative, make sure that you're having this communication, having this dialogue, because I know that it's going to come up. And so let's do this. I want to get into the slides. I got a few things created for you this morning, but Evangeline, I want to go over to you really quick. I saw you over the weekend with Roxanne, having a good time, hanging out. Congratulations on all of your success and all of your accomplishments. I'm sure you're feeling pretty good right now. Safe to say?
Yeah, safe to say, mommy's night out. Well, her mommy and baby mommy, but we had a night out. It was a good time. And my husband was a chauffeur. So we got turned up since we didn't have to drive.
Which husbands love to do that? God, we just love to drop our wives off for girls' night out, or even brunch with the girls. Oh God, we love that. And then you pick you guys up, and it's just nothing but banter and laughter and can we stop for food, all that stuff. So anyways, I'm glad that you had a really, really good weekend. I got some things prepared for you guys. If you have the ability to be here, throw your cameras on. I would love to see your faces on this Monday morning. Once again, remember that these recordings or these calls are recorded. And so I'm going to go here and I'm going to share this with you. I saw it. I thought it was powerful, and I just want to read this out loud for everybody. I thought this was a really, really good way to start out a Monday. Move like everything is going to work out, because it is. Your mindset is the engine. Your faith is the fuel. Stop second guessing and start showing up like it's already been done. Speak it, walk it, own it. Doubt has no place in a vision this big. And I'm going to read that line one more time. Doubt has no place in a vision this big. When you move with belief, the universe responds, doors open, opportunities appear, and the right people align in your life. You have survived too much to play it small now. And I want you to read that top line again. You have survived too much to play it small now. You think real estate's hard? There's some of you that have been through so much worse shit than real estate, right? You have been through way too much to play it small now. So trust your process, trust your pace, and most of all, trust that everything you're building is going to pay off. Keep going, keep grinding. It is already yours. So I want to share that quote with you guys this morning. I thought it was powerful. I saw it. I'd love to get some thoughts and some feedback from you guys on this. But before I go there, Nicole, you threw your hand up. What do you got for us?
So I'm doing all of that stuff, and I literally just walked out of the testing center. Guess who's also a Georgia realtor now?
Hey, let's go. Right now, you just passed?
Yeah,
Let's go. Oh, man. I thank you for being on Coaching and sharing. Let's give some love, some light to Nicole, all she's been through, but what she's still willing to do and was still willing to go through the hard things. So I absolutely love that for you. Congratulations, Nicole. So who wants to give me their thoughts, feedback, and insight on what I just shared? I'm actually going to call on two people. I'm going to go to Jamie and I'm going to go to H-Bomb. Let's roll, Jamie. What do you got for us? How does this land for you? Where does your mind go when you see this or when you hear me read it? Let's roll.
Good morning, colleagues. Reading this is something that I get up and do every morning, is say, I'm ready for my day. I own my day. I'm ready for it. We have to be in that mindset every single day. Negative thoughts will come up sometime, but we have to stop ourselves and say, what am I thinking about? What are you saying to yourself? So just own it. We know that we have to be out here ready and armed for information to give people, because that's all people need is information. And we are the information highway for people. So get up in the morning, say, you got this. I own it. I'm the best realtor out here. I'm an advocate for my clients, and speak it, walk it, own it, believe it. Don't just say it, but believe it. Visualize everything. If you want to visualize selling 30 homes, visualize that. It can be done, but we have to surround ourselves with people like this to help us see it, speak it, own it. Shoulders up, shoulders back, head up, speak it.
Let's
Every
go.
day.
Let's go. I love that. Shoulders back, chest out, head up. Absolutely. I absolutely love your narrative. Let's go over to H-Bomb. H-Bomb, what do you got for us? Let's get some thoughts and some sentiment from you. There
Okay.
she
Hi. Hi, good morning.
She loves, your daughter loves when you just tell her you love her on camera, huh? They love those moments.
You can tell she's just like, this bitch, put me on camera again. Dude, she like drives her crazy.
Oh, our kids love that we are content creators. All right. They love it. Let's roll. H-Bomb, what do you got?
Well, actually, I was just thinking about this morning, haven't been as diligent the past 2 weeks. And I was just thinking, no, you know what? Don't get down on yourself if you have like a little setback or, you just kind of, I wouldn't say fell off the wagon, but, I was starting to be like, God, what's wrong with me? And I was upset, but don't get upset with yourself. Be proud of yourself that you noticed that you kind of fell off a little bit. You kind of slipped up on your game, and be proud that you realized it, realign, and lock in and just go. Don't get hung up on that. Maybe, hey, I haven't been hustling as hard this week, and just okay, that's all right. Let's get back on the train here, and let's go. And secondly, it's funny that we talked about this. I was just over at my cousin's house. She's 100 days clean. She was actually on fentanyl, and she went through rehab, 100 days clean, and I'm just like super proud of her. And I took psycho-cybernetics over there, and I was telling her, I said, this really kind of changed the way that I think and how I approach things. And I was just kind of giving her like a brief summary of it. And she is super excited. And, I was telling her, like, I can't even tell you how proud I am of you, of what you've overcome, like,
Wow.
and I said, I'm so excited for you to read this book, because once you really like lock in and realize your self-worth and what you're capable of, and truly believe that you can achieve that, like you were gonna be so successful, and you're gonna achieve things that you never thought possible.
I love this. I love this. Heather, I'm so glad that you shared this. As you guys know, I've been sharing with my brother what's going on with him. 7 years, he was down in the, depths of his addiction. He starts his first job today. Well, he starts a job today. He hasn't worked in 7+ years. I mean, slanging and making money, doing whatever, but like he starts an official job. His baby's going to daycare, like all these things, man. It's so cool, like to see these people like fighting through, because we know so many people don't make it. And so if there's anything I can do for them, anything you could do for your sister and your family, like this is really powerful. So H-Bomb, I appreciate you sharing. You guys, we're going to go right into our wins for the week, and we're going to do things a little bit different for this week. When I have you guys share your wins, and I'm going to pull this up, I want to talk about business wins first, and then we'll talk about personal wins second. So business wins. And here's what I want you guys to share with me. How many conversations did you have last week? How many appointments did you go on? Did you get in contract, a buyer or a seller? And how many videos did you drop last week? And what was your best performing video? I want to go there. So I need 3 to 5 people to get involved in this conversation. I'm going to wait for hands to go up. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the wins from last week. Conversations, appointments, buyers in contract or listings taken, and videos dropped, and what was your best performing video last week? And so I got 3 people. You guys don't leave me hanging. I need 2 other people to get in the queue to share their professional wins from last week. So I'll pause while you guys just go like this and click the hand raise. All right, I got 4. Going forward, going on. All right, there it is. There it is. All right, cool. So Damian, we're going to go to you first. Then we'll go Lisa Torres. You'll be on deck, and then Evangeline. Let's go, Damian.
Hey, last week I had a buyer come back from 4 years ago, a Zillow Flex lead come back from 4 years ago, and I kept following up. I could see the videos I had sent, like when I was in intensity, and sent her like 3 videos in 1 week, and I just seen all my follow-up, and then finally this lady reached back out after 4 years. She found herself to be ready, and her price point is double. Got her with Ashley and pre-approved and underwritten, so they can close in 14 days.
Let's go. All right. So walk us through your cadence of follow-up. Like, how did you stay in touch with her?
Again, I just tried different ways because I do most of my follow-up through my phone, which isn't the best way, but at the same time, I've gotten used to seeing how I can keep up with the flow in that conversation. And so I don't send them the same thing twice in a row, and it's just not robotic. But again, I can see videos that I've sent to this lady and check-ins and don't give up on me and all these things. And after 4 years, she came back, which is crazy. And now I don't have to pay Zillow Flex for it. I also had another rapper connection do a buyer's consultation with me, I think like 3 weeks ago, but him and his wife just got serious last week and we're putting in offers this week. I sent him to Ashley. They're fully underwritten and ready to close in 14 days. So yeah, it's just identifying properties for both of those two, but it was definitely big wins. And
Beautiful.
then as far as videos go, me and MacArthur Mays put out a remix to an older 90s song. It was Jeanne, Sending My Love. We just looped the beat and spent $350 on a simple video, the most simple we've done so far. And it's getting a lot of traction because it's familiar to people. But now I'm starting to see, and talking to Gary Archer, shouts out to Gary, I know he's on the call, but just the more these two worlds collide, the more it makes sense to people what I do and how I'm able to wear the hats that I do and help people in both realms. So it's starting to come together, and it's cool.
I love it. I love it. Are you talking about the one at the Rose Garden in Oakland?
Yeah.
Bro, that video is dope, bro. The verses are sick in that video. So shout out to you. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. I don't think I've ever seen a Nike swoosh larger than the Nike swoosh that is on your shirt. And so mad respect for you. I don't know where you got that shirt, but largest Nike swoosh that I've ever seen. Good stuff, Damian. Appreciate you, big dog. Let's go, Lisa. Lisa, what do you got for us? Wins from last week, conversations, appointments, buyers in contract or listings taken and videos dropping, best performing. Let's go, Lisa.
Good morning. I am driving and it's kind of crazy traffic, but conversations last week, tons. So my listing went into escrow. We found out some repairs needed today. So, but the good thing is that the one that went in escrow is one, but I have another one that just went live this last week. So if anything happens with the one that's currently in escrow, I'm not so stressed out, which is nice to finally have like more momentum where I'm like not counting on one deal so much. And I'm, now that I'm on the Flex team, getting lots of calls, meeting people, nothing's like really hit so far, but I am talking to lots of folks, moving people down the pipeline. And what's nice is like the activities, has shown me like I can create my own momentum. Like it doesn't have to come from Zillow. Because the two that I have are like from my own open houses and things of that nature. So, those are the wins. And
so let's talk
fighting a cold. And the only thing that sucks is I feel like I have fallen off on my videos. So I have like a bunch of content that I need to put out. It'll get there in the next couple days. I've just been like fighting this cold.
So Lisa, I appreciate this. Congratulations on all the success from this past week. You guys shouldn't fall into the rut where, I got a bunch of stuff. Like the minimum bare standard, C-, 3 reels a week, you guys. Like that should be the standard no matter what. And it should irk you. Meaning it should really, really irk you if you're not posting that much content every single week. You have the ability just to be seen 12 videos a month. That's not asking that much of yourself. So bare minimum, 3 a week, C minus. I know each of you are capable of it, and you guys are capable of more than that. And so, Lisa, I appreciate your thoughts, appreciate your sentiment. Hopefully you feel better quickly. Let's go, Evangeline. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I finally got a buyer out and we're touring homes. I've been staying on top of him. It took him a year and a half to get pre-approved. He was fixing his credit. So he's also been sent to Ashley and now we're out here shopping for homes. So I did that also over the weekend. And then I sent out a email with a market update that specifically drove urgency. And I sent that out to my entire CRM. And sure enough, I had a buyer call me up saying, like, I didn't know that it was a buyer's market. Like, how quickly can we do this? So he and his family is actually chatting with Ashley too, so we can get him into contract soon. But yeah, as for social media, I'm also kind of in that rut where, like, I think just with life, I don't know what it is, but I too have the stuff on my phone and I just haven't gotten to posting it. So I got to figure out what that's about and make it more of a priority where it's like scheduled in, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like maybe right before, or right after our coaching calls, right? So I'm definitely also in that rut, but some of my wins and some of my lows last week.
I love that, Evangeline. And you said it right. It's a priority. This is a marketing vessel for you, right? Social media is a marketing vessel. It's a pillar of pressure, right? And you guys, I'm always going to be consistent. I'm always going to lead by example. But at the end of the day, I don't schedule anything when it comes to social media. Now, I have the buckets of where I would choose to create social media from, but I never schedule anything. So if scheduling is what it takes for you, good. But you have to think about this 100% ROI, 100%. And there's probably something on your phone right now that would give you tons of engagement. I promise you. There's probably a thought right now, Evangeline, that you have that would give you tons of engagement. And so don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be consistent. But I appreciate it. Love seeing you and Roxanne ball out over the weekend. Have a good time. Hopefully you're hydrated and you're feeling good. And Ashley, you were Miss Popularity this morning. Your name has been mentioned 3 times already. I love this for you. Let's go, Hugo. What do you got for us, big dog?
So guys, good morning. So last week I had 20 conversations. I would say like 8 of those were really lengthy. I would count them as real conversations. I had 2 appointments. One was like a listing appointment that I went on last year with Vanessa Vo there in Lathrop, but the client went through some health issues and, just couldn't pull through. And then we got him re-engaged. So we're going to see how that one goes. And then I went on a buyer appointment as well with a family friend that saw one of my home tours. And, they decided they liked the home, and then I showed it to them in person and they want to go ahead and get pre-approved. So that's a win there. And then I posted 2 videos, and out of those 2 reels, the most popular one was one where I was giving information to undocumented and immigrant families on like what to do with their assets if they do own one.
Bro, how many times was that video shared or saved?
Let me check the stat. I don't know on that. It was shared 2 times.
Okay. Hey, I'm one of those shares, and my hope is that more people share that. I thought that was a really, really good video, and it was a very empathetic video. My hope is that even more people see that. That video was dope, bro. So great job. Love the 20 conversations, 2 appointments, following up on that listed appointment from last year. Really, really good stuff. Let's go to Heather. Heather, H-bomb. I just say that because it's on the screen, but let's roll.
I kind of like it now. I'm like, I always thought it was like silly, but I never changed it. I'm all H-bomb. I like it.
All right, let's go. How many conversations last week?
A ton.
No, a ton isn't a number.
I would have to say at least 20, 25. I don't know, maybe in the 20 range, because I went to a barbecue. A friend from high school, a bunch of other people were there. Of course, it led to real estate, it led to interest rates. On Saturday, Friday, I went to a networking event in Turlock. Now I'm forgetting, and I don't want to close out my phone. Like, one of the mortgage companies in Turlock just had their grand Polito. There it is, the Polito Group. But I went to a networking event there, had a bunch of conversations with various different people. And so just this weekend, it was very active as far as conversations regarding the market. My actually that particular video that I made at the grand opening, I think right now I'm at 50 something likes.
Good.
If I had to go by likes, I mean, I have a other video that has like more views per se, but that one has about like 50 something likes because I collaborated with Jesse, who invited me, and with the Polito group, and with the broker, or what, the Tamara Polito. So
Loved it. And
being,
then Heather, really quick, how many appointments did you go on last week?
I went last week. I showed 7 homes to all in one day. Kept
Nice.
it super old school. She rode in my car with me, and I showed her 7 homes. And unfortunately, she's got to get her loan stuff kind of figured out.
Well, you're brave putting people in your car. I don't want people in my car personally.
Yeah,
That's just mine.
yeah, it's kind of my sanctuary. Oddly enough, I'm anal about my car, so it's usually pretty clean.
Okay.
Unlike my bedroom. So, but I didn't. I'm trying to think if I had other appointments. I got into escrow on La Mesa. We got an offer and a backup offer, which had always, we've been on the market over 30 days. A bunch of people showed it. We get an offer, not super happy, but it was time to make something work. And then right after we counter, somebody goes and shows it and like wants to put in a better offer. So we have a backup offer on that. And I have an offer pending right now for probate. So it's going to take a little bit back. So
let's go.
Yeah, it was a good week last week.
Love it. Love it. Well, good stuff. I appreciate your contribution. Really good share. Let's go to Jamie, and then we're going to shift gears in the conversation. What do you got for him, Jamie?
Well, I closed my first deal with Team Fast last week. I joined in January, so I closed my first deal. It went pending in 13 days in Sacramento. So I think that's a win. So it closed Friday. Glad about that. I made 18 calls. I went on 1 appointment, and I have a listing coming up in August.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love this. I love how you were so certain and you understand your numbers. Congratulations on your closing. Videos dropped last week. How many videos did you drop?
None. However, I do have a request then for them to put up my sold property in our portal.
All right. So you have a request for a sold property, but you're not talking in that video.
No.
All right. So Jamie, here's the challenge for you. This is Monday. Okay. I want to see 2 videos from me this week. And this group is going to hold you accountable. 2 videos this week because you have such a light, such a voice. I would literally spin some records and shoot a video. Hey, we're going to talk a little bit about records. We're going to talk a little bit about real estate. Here's a record that you should not sleep on. For example, I just bought the Zach Bryan record, play track 3 or whatever. But let me tell you about a couple things that are happening in real estate. You're a DJ, so correlate that DJ and that love for music for real estate. And I promise you, things like that do really, really well because you have a beautiful light and a beautiful voice. Allow the people to feel that and experience that.
I appreciate that, and I will do that. I promise you.
2. And listen, all I want you to do is tag me.
Okay, I have one great video in there that I posted a while ago for my way back Wednesdays, and I dedicated to my dad because he always was into music. So I do have a video on there about a couple of months ago, but it's great.
Let's roll. Then put that out. And so it's constant, right? It's constant. It's always evolving. So really good stuff. I'm going to pause for a quick second. So Ashley, you, Jamie Thomas, hit me up. Myself or Brandon, they can help. Yes, I love this. All right. Ashley, you posted an article a few minutes back. Kind of talk us through this article, your narrative. I haven't had the ability to pull that up. So kind of share with us your thoughts.
So, if you were on a call a while back, Elias, for sure you were, I mentioned about a shadow Fed president, and there are theories out there that the president's going to put in a shadow Fed president. So in May, the current Fed president, Jerome Powell, is supposed to retire, and then they're going to replace him. Well, there's a couple different candidates that it could be. One of them is Chairman Waller, and he released 2 or 3 days ago, and that's the news article, that he thinks that we should be cutting rates in July. And so there's a lot of commotion going on with the world war and oil prices, and are those going to start changing things with interest rates or not? But the reality is, right now, today, interest rates are going down because Fed Waller put out a statement that says that he thinks we should cut rates in July, and another Fed president also did. So today, we can focus on interest rates are coming down. Let's focus on that. Let's get those good rates while we can also get seller credits. And there's a lot of chaos in the world. But if we're trying to be talking about home buying this year, then let's focus on the benefit of what's really going on and what could go on between now and May if we really do get a Fed chair president that believes we should start cutting rates.
I love this, Ashley. I appreciate that. Make sure to grab that link to that article. It's in the chat. Just go up in the chat a few messages back. Now let's do this. We're going to go through some challenges right now. Now, obviously, this is a little bit more harder when we're talking about than talking about wins, but I want you guys to present any challenges. And here's the thing. I might not have the answers, but somebody on this call might be doing it and might be battling through it, or if they've won through the challenge that you're currently facing in your life and in your business. So who wants to get involved? 3 people, throw out some challenges on the table right now that they're facing in their schedule, their business, what to say, how to convert. I don't care what it is, a system, an operational efficiency, getting their ass to the gym, moving, working, social media. I don't care what it is. I'm going to pause for a second, and I want at least 3 people to throw a challenge to the group, and let's dissect that and let's try to tackle it here. So before I go any further, I'm going to pause because I got a lot of people on the call right now. So I want you guys to just get involved with this challenge. 3 people, and don't leave me hanging, you guys. This is Keep It Moving for a reason. All right, so throw your hand up using the reaction button down below. I got one from Ashley. Are you telling me nobody else on this call has any challenges that they're facing in life, business, health, and relationships? There we go. There we go. Let's go, Ash. Kick them off.
All right, so I have a thought. I have basically become a homesteader. I'm becoming a homesteader. So I learned how to make yogurt. I learned how to make sourdough. Thank you, Evangeline. I learned how to make ranch, mayo, a bunch of stuff. So I was thinking, okay, well, maybe I can, I have a professional camera, put it in my kitchen and make reels on how to do these certain things. Because there are a lot of homeowners that want to learn how to do these things. Especially if World War III is going to happen. Gotta have some life skills. So my thought is, do I put it on my Instagram now, even though it's not lending related, or do I make a new page for it?
My answer to this, you are who you are. Just put it on your regular page, on your business page should be the regular page. It's you. Just go out there and make your sourdough.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it, but I saw some hands go up. Anybody else have a thought or contribution? I think that's a simple one, Ashley. Do that. Just go and make your sourdough and ranch and whatever else and put it on your regular page because you have a really large audience. You have what, 8,000 plus followers?
Yeah, almost 7,000. But
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot of people that follow you. And they don't just follow you because of all your cool money store stuff. They like you as a human being.
All right. Stay tuned, guys.
Okay. All right. Stay tuned. We'll definitely stay tuned. Let's go, Aaron. Aaron, what do you got for us, Big Dog Challenge? And I've never heard this term shadow fed. Sorry. Let's go, Aaron.
No worries. My challenge is pretty consistent. I just struggle with social media and just even want to be on it. I just came back from a trip to Santa Cruz and I just was there with my wife. It was a great trip. We did great things together. We spent great time connecting with each other, but I didn't pick up my phone to record anything at all. And I have this, I don't even know, when I'm with somebody else doing it, I have no problem. When somebody's like, hey, do this, and I'm there doing it, I have no problem. But just me and my self and my setting and whatever, I didn't even start an Instagram account until I joined this team. And I found this team not because of Instagram, but because I just was looking for an office and a great team on EXP, right? So I struggle with getting on social media, thinking of things. I'll go on for a second and I admire what other people do, but I just have I struggle with visualizing myself doing it. And even when I do schedule it because it's like I have to schedule it for Monday, and I was on this scheduling it for Monday to record something, and I did it for a little bit, but I fell off very, very easily, and so I do understand the importance of it, but I'm struggling to even prioritize that a little bit.
So I'm going to give you some advice here, Aaron. The content doesn't always have to have your voice in it, and doesn't necessarily even have to have your face in it. Like, you could have taken a quick video of the sunset, or, you know, the beach, or whatever it is, and you could have just wrote a caption on this that times like this, downtime with my wife, I cherish, and they mean the world for us, to close out the noise of the world and to be able to connect just her and I. Like, you didn't have to do anything. All you did is you took a picture of the beautiful sunset, or took a quick panned video, and then you put some text on screen. Like, it is that simple. So I don't want you to overthink it, like, oh my God, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? Like, maybe you saw a quote over the weekend. Maybe you read something. Maybe it was a line that you heard from today. Maybe it was something that was powerful to you, that was uplifting. Maybe it's a verse from a song. And then you literally put that as a text on screen over a video. So it's like, you don't always have to be talking about something, right? I think that we put pressure on ourselves, like, oh, I got to talk about the market. I got to talk about interest rate. I got to talk about real estate shit. Like, bro, the fact that you went out and had an amazing weekend with your wife, talk about that. Like, that's, hey guys, listen, as much as we grind, as much as we go, it's important to get away and just spend time with your love, and make sure that you guys connect. My wife and I went to Santa Cruz, had the best time. So as much as you're wanting to hustle and grind, make sure that you're spending time with the people that mean the most to you. Bro, like that, it is so simple, but what we do is we overcomplicate it, and we complicate it so much that what happens is it stifles us from doing anything. Like, it stifles us from doing anything. And so, bro, I just want to give you a quick example of this, okay? So I did a hike a couple weeks ago, and it was amazing. It was with my friend, Lindsay and Bruce up in upstate New York. She told me something that day. She said, we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. And I thought about this, and I really thought about the meaning of that. And I literally just put that on here and wrote a description, and that video did really, really well. So Aaron, I didn't say anything, nor was I in that video. I just chose some cool reggae music that I absolutely love. And that video did really, really well. And so think about it. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams, right? There's 6 words, and I didn't do shit. So you don't always have to have something to say. You have something to share, a thought, a quote. Sometimes you're going to say some stuff, of course, but it doesn't always have to be like that. It doesn't have to be so much pressure on yourself. Does that make sense, Aaron?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense, and like you're saying, I watch what other people. I think I also steal a little of the joy, or I have a little of the fear because of the comparison too. Like, you look at people doing like great stuff, and you really admire what they do, and then you're like, oh, I can't do something like that. But yes, if I simplify and I don't think about it too much, and I put stuff like that out and find moments, capture them, because they happen throughout the course of the day. People do say stuff to you where you think about it. I just don't. I just haven't been thinking about doing what you're saying. It just has never dawned on me. So I'm going to actively work to put stuff like that out and get more comfortable, I guess, with the process and doing that. Yeah.
And Aaron, for you, it's like one deal that comes from social media for the year. It's 20 G's, right? It's one deal. Like imagine if you got more from that, but one deal from social, that's 20 G's. But like, what you're doing is you're building a brand, you're building an identity, you're building awareness of who you are, what you want to, how you want to impact this world. And so I always look at, anytime I go somewhere, I got to get just some B-roll, even if it's a quick pan of the beach, if it's a quick intro to the hotel, if it's quick something I'm eating, like, I'm always looking for B-roll. So when it comes to times like this, like, let me go through some, actually this quote would be perfect over that picture of the ocean, right? So it's just like, always find a reason to just capture some B-roll so you could come back to later on in life. And so let's go to Brianna. Let's go to Brandy. I know you probably got some insights for Aaron. Any suggestions, any thoughts on this vein? And then we're going to go over to Evangeline. Brianna, Brandy, your chance. If not, I'm just moving on. All right.
Yeah, I mean, Erin, come see me and Brianna on Tuesday and Thursday. We're gonna be in the Stockton office. We'll hook you up. Content is so easy. Like yesterday when we were at the open house, me and Brianna planned to do content, but then both of us are just walking around the house just recording. And half the time, like the other day, Brianna was over and I was like, okay, I'm gonna set up my camera. Just don't look at it. Like, and sometimes it's the simplest things, a recording of the kids playing, a recording of some of my random content does way better than the content that I actually had planned out.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love this, love this. So yeah, Aaron, I would just, look at the moments that you're having, store the stuff on your phone, grab some B-roll, come back to it and share. Like this weekend you had meant the world to you, and I can hear it when you said it. And so sharing little stuff like that makes you human and gives people proximity to you. And that's what we want to create through social media is business intimacy and proximity. And so appreciate you, Brandy. Love what you guys are doing. Brianna, it's all good. Let's go to Evangeline. Challenges that you're facing right now. Let's roll.
Yeah, I'll be have a candid moment here. I think some challenges I'm facing is depression, is postpartum depression. It's new for me, so if anyone wants to share, I mean, I'm not really a depressed person. Yeah, you see a goal, get after it. What steps do we need to take to get there? Let's make it happen, right? But like, if if you're struggling to even eat, right? If you're struggling to even get out of bed, how do you then, okay, yeah, let me post, like, I know what I need to do, right? Okay, social media, follow up, consistency, and I can clearly do it. But if you're having friction with just your basic needs, it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Where if your basic needs aren't met of eating, of exercising, of all of those things, how do you get out and do the big things if you can't master the simple things? And I know it's almost like it's a cynical cycle, because if you don't eat, if you don't sleep, if you don't exercise, you're going to feel like shit. But then because you feel like shit, you can't eat, sleep, or exercise. So if anyone, that's me being real, like raw right now. If anyone wants to add to that, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, and listen, moms, this might be more your lane than it is my lane, but it goes back to fitness. But also, you just said it spot on. We're like, well, I know I need to work out. I know I need to exercise. I know I need to work well or move my body. I know I need to eat healthy. But if I don't feel like even doing those things, then it's never even going to make sense. So once you find this rhythm, what I want to do is I want to encourage you to call this guy that had started working with just last week, and he's a fitness coach, but it's more than that. Like there's metabolic type tests that you have to do, checks your vitamins, checks everything like that's going on, and then makes recommendations based on your type. I think that, and there's accountability every single day. Every single day there's accountability for me. And so I think maybe that's probably a good conversation, but I'd love to hear from some of the moms on the call. I saw some hands go up. Let's go Brianna, and then we'll go Mel. Brianna, are you off your call?
Yes. And I actually suffered from postpartum depression with my daughter severely. I wasn't showering, I wasn't eating, I wasn't getting out of the house. I was having thoughts that I don't like to admit. And I'm a very strong person. I've been through a lot in my life, and that was a humbling experience. And leaning into people, therapy, being very realistic with what's going on, because sometimes it's not something you can just snap out of. There is a hormonal thing, but leaning into people, exercise. Like, I know that's one thing that's really hard to get up and do, but when you feel that, like, I want to lay in bed, you don't need to look pretty to exercise. Just get up and go walk. Breathe fresh air. Go outside. There, it chemically changes you. The oxygen, the sunlight, the fresh air, it does. It chemically changes you. And therapy. I can't stress that enough, because a lot of times as moms and women, we're expected to be super strong and we're built for this. Well, we're not built for everything. Sometimes we're a little broken and we need a little fixie.
Mm.
So I mean, I suffered really bad with it. Sometimes I don't even like to admit it. And I was definitely one of those people that saw those women that was like would hurt their children and be like, I could never, until those completely non-rational thoughts were going through my head and I didn't understand it. And reference, I've never been the type to have those type of suicidal or homicidal thoughts towards my children, except for with hormones. So it is real. And you definitely, if you need to ever talk or anything, Evangeline, please reach out. Sometimes just hearing that it's real is therapeutic in itself.
Mm. Well, Brianna, I appreciate you sharing. Like, I think that you guys, the ladies on the call, can, really give even more insight than I can. I give you high level stuff that I would think, but at the end of the day, I don't know what you guys go through internally. Mel, you've had one and have one on the way. So I would consider yourself an expert in this lane. So let's roll.
Definitely not an expert. I found myself wigging out over the weekend. Like, I don't even have this mom thing down yet, and I have another one on the way. Like, what the fuck is actually happening right now? But I would say to you, Evangeline, what I would say is you have to give yourself a little bit of grace. Like, you can't rush it. Don't get down on yourself that you are not at your best right now. And you have to give yourself a lot of grace. You have to give yourself a lot of love. And you have to understand that this is going to be something that's going to have to play out its course, and don't try to rush it. The more pressure that you put on yourself, that you need to be performing at a certain level. And trust me, I know how that feels when you're in a world where things are moving fast, and performance and numbers are rewarded, and you just feel like you're behind and you can't get it together. In this world of sales, I mean, that's what our jobs are all about. And it can be really hard sometimes when you're comparing yourself to other people that are doing the things that you want to do in business. But you have to understand that your time will come. Right now, you need to take care of yourself. And like what Brianna just said, even if it's a 5-minute walk around the block around your house, just putting on your sneakers and getting outside will create some sort of a momentum. Doesn't matter how big or how small, don't measure it. Just get out and make sure that you're at least getting some fresh air, feeling the sun on your skin. And when you get back, maybe you feel like doing a lot of laundry. Okay. And then maybe that load of laundry leads to you picking up the baby toys around the house. And then maybe that leads to putting your hair up and like washing your face. And one thing leads to the other, and it will stack, and you will create new habits for yourself. And just I want you to just have a lot of grace for yourself right now, and don't rush it, because the more you try to rush it, you're going to feel like shit. And also, a lot of times when we feel the way that we feel, like depression, medication. So get the help that you need. Talk to a therapist. A lot of times insurance does cover those types of things for postpartum depression. And B, if it's not that severe, a lot of times I say it's because we're out of alignment with who we are and who we're meant to be. So try to meditate on that. Try to meditate, have a few minutes alone outside, listening to the birds at 6 o'clock in the morning with a hot cup of coffee. Just connect with nature, watch the trees, watch the birds, watch how nature moves, and just try to connect with the rhythm of nature and sync up with that. And just try to feel your alignment and who you are as a person. And that those 2 or 3 minutes could be enough for you to lead you throughout the rest of the day. And then just keep doing that and watch the habits stack up day after day. And I promise you, you will get on the other side of this, and this won't last forever. This too shall pass.
Yeah, God, really, really powerful stuff here, Mel. Really powerful stuff. Evangeline, it's safe to say that that you have a community. Maybe this is something that you build. Be like, hey, there's other people that are going through similar things that you're experiencing right now. maybe you just build a group, and that group is making sure that we're all serving each other, right? Put together a mom's group, and you're talking about things like this that apply to the moms out there that are struggling. And so, it serves you, it helps other people. And so as you start to get better and feel more whole, now you are a catalyst of other people's growth and of other people's change. And so I sent you a message in Slack as well. That's just like kind of like a quick checklist for you for dealing with postpartum. But I really appreciate you, throwing that challenge out. You guys, at the end of the day, I opened it up, right? And I said, what are the challenges that we're facing in life, business, health, and relationships? And Evangeline was really, really bold enough to throw it out there. So Evangeline, hopefully you heard something that, can just give you a little bit more hope and inspiration for the week. If you need anything on a human level, your coach is always here. Like, I'm always here for you for support. But I think that there's a big enough community here of females that have gone through what you have that can support you. So Evangeline, what I heard, and I'll say it again, is find ways to move, get outside, or just sit outside, get some sun on your face, listen to the birds. I like that advice. So you guys, before we close out, obviously we got some things that we need to cover before we go. If you're new to the call, we do an exercise every single week. It's called Go to the Board. For Tanisha, for Dory Robertson, this is something that I have people do every single week because I want clarity. And what the board is it's just simply a box. It is a box on a piece of paper, and the only thing that fits inside of that box is the numbers, right? How many conversations you're going to have this week, how many doors you're going to knock, how many appointments you're going to go on, how many videos you're going to drop this week. The only thing that fits in there is the numbers. What does not fit in there is any of your excuses, any of your stories, and any of your bullshit, right? You all have those. What fits in there are the numbers, and the numbers are directly aligned with the impact that you choose to make in this business and that you want to make in this business. So if you want to go and make 20 calls every single day, then that's what goes in the box. If you're committed to going on 3 appointments this week, that's what goes in the box. You're going to drop 5 appointments or 5 videos. That's what goes in the box. No excuses, no stories, and no bullshit. This is just results, week in, week out, and making sure that you are very, very clear with it. And I'm going to give you this last question here. This week, I will move the needle in my business by doing this specific outcome. I commit to these action steps and letting go of this excuse or this distraction. What I want for you guys every single week is purpose, clarity, and intentionality as you enter the week. Nothing is done by chance. You guys are very, very clear. And the reason that you are clear is because you know how many homes that you want to sell from now till the end of the year. Well, if you know how many homes that you want to sell from now until the end of the year, then you take that number, divide it by 60. That tells you how many conversations that you need to have from now until the end of the year. And then you divide that shit by the amount of weeks that you have left. And then you take that number and divide it by 5 days that you're going to work. Now it gives you the number of how many conversations that you should have daily. And it's that simple. So everything starts with, what am I going to do this week? What am I going to do this week? You have some big ass goal at the end of the year, and I get that. But what I want action. You see, the action is the leading indicator. The goal is the lagging indicator. I want you guys to be in purpose, be in motion, and be in action every single week. And then you be able to look at it like Hugo shared, like Jamie shared, like, God, last week I went on 2 appointments. I dropped 2 videos. I had 20 calls, whatever it is. You guys need to be clear on the week. So go to the board, do your exercise, and make sure that you're holding yourself accountable to what is most important to you. So, you guys, we don't have time to get to everyone else's hands this week, but I'm going to go to Dory. Dory, hi, I'm Elias. Welcome to Keep It Moving Group Coaching. I want to get one key thought, one key takeaway from you as a guest today. And how did you hear about our group?
Yeah, so one key thought. I was in Cortez asked me to come and check out the group. So one key thought that I was also telling him is that you guys seem really supportive and uplifting. I really appreciate that. That's why I'm considering reinstating my license. And yeah, I really appreciate the content and the information you guys put out today.
Well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being a guest. Thank you for being on. Let's go, Cortez. Let's go. One key thought, one key takeaway from you, big dog.
So I was doing the math, the 60, what was it? That was the takeaway. I want to really lock into that to just tighten up the year. So 60 conversations. But what was that actual
Yeah. So here's the formula. So how many homes do you want to sell from now until the end of the year, Cortez?
12 more.
12 more. Okay, perfect. I love this. He said 12 more. So take 12 times 60 equals, do that math for me, 12 times 60. You should have a number of 720.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's divide that by how many weeks are left in the year, everybody? Ashley, I think you could have this number for me. Is it 22? Let's say it's 22. I think we're on. So Cortez, if you take the amount of conversations and you divide it by the amount of weeks that we have left, that's 32.7 conversations per week. So let's call it 33 conversations per week. And I divide that by 5 days that I'm going to work. You got your work cut out for you. That's 6.5 conversations every single day to put you in the best position to hit that goal of you selling 12 homes this year or for the rest of the year. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So you take however homes you want to sell times it by 60 because the National Association of Realtors states that it takes about 40 conversations for one contract, but I upped that ante. I said 60 because I know that it could get tough depending on where these people are in the market. So that's the formula. That's the strategy. Listen, you guys, I appreciate you being here. Dory, and to all of our other guests that came here today, thank you. And for everybody that contributed, as always, I appreciate you guys at a very, very conscious level for being here, being in this moment, not just coaching about your business. This is life coaching as well. And so Jamie and Heather will get to your contributions on Wednesday. But I had a question for everybody before we head out. If we plan a group hike for, let's go, July 11th, Friday, July 11th, in lieu of coaching, would you guys be down to go? And we'll get up there starting at, let's just get up there at 8. How many of you would be down for a group hike instead of coaching on that day? Is that 4 people, 5 people? All right, cool. So I need to know, should we do hard, medium, or soft? Medium? Like a Lake Chabot? Like 9 miles? Because it's mostly a walk? Somebody take themselves off of mute. I want to get some feedback on this.
Whatever you got, I can handle it.
I vote for a strong medium.
9 miles.
Yeah, it's 9 miles. It's mostly a walk.
That's medium?
Yeah.
Hey, at least he
I'm
told
gonna
you
do
the
group
truth.
coaching. Group coaching.
Well,
Last year he said 6 miles.
Last time he said 6 miles. We went out there and we did it, and you walked the 9 miles. So if he told you it was 3 miles and you went out there and walked 20, at the end of the day, you're not turning around. You're just going to keep going. So I say bring the hard stuff and tell me it's medium.
All right, so I'll put something together, you guys. We're going to do that in lieu, and depending on where we'll decide on where we're going. But in lieu of our meeting, our coaching on July 11th, we're going to do a group hike, and we'll have some fun. We'll talk, or we won't talk, whatever. We're going to go out there and do the hard thing. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. I want to make sure that you guys are all out there. We'll have some fun. We'll bring our water. And listen, we did Chabot. It's 9 miles, but it's not that hard. It's mostly a walk, but there's one part that's a hill. But overall, Blessing did it was her first hike ever, and she did it. Remember, Ashley? So.
Yeah, it was mine and Blessing's both first hike, and we were up there in the front with everyone. About halfway through, we realized this was not a 6 mile hike. This was for sure a 9 mile hike. But like you said, we weren't turning around. We were there, so we had to finish it
That's
up.
right.
And we were
All
very
right.
proud at the end of it.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I want to respect your time. I know we went a little bit longer. Listen, have an amazing week. Go to the board, get clear with your numbers. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and make today a day that counts. Peace.